The other hosting model is the so-called Blazor WebAssembly, abbreviated as WASM. Initially, Blazor only provided these two models, but since .NET 8, it has further improved and added more.
Hello, this is Kazimierz Spin. Welcome to the Code with Kazik channel, where I demonstrate how to effectively learn programming and become a successful programmer.
As for Blazor WebAssembly, it is a typical SPA application where the entire application code is downloaded upon the first connection to the server. Hence, the first connection will be a bit longer, while subsequent ones will be very fast. We can also analyze the pros and cons of this solution here. Let's start with the cons. The application has a larger size, so you have to wait longer for the first connection. Additionally, you need to download WebAssembly, so if you are visiting the site for the first time, it may take a few seconds for everything to be downloaded. This is the biggest drawback of WebAssembly, but in most cases, it won't be a big problem. At this point, you can display a nice spinner so that the user knows they need to wait a second or two for the connection. Moreover, since .NET 8, this has been improved, and you will learn later how to handle it so that it is not a problem at all. Another drawback is the lack of compatibility with some older browsers. Browsers need to support WebAssembly, which, as I mentioned, can be an issue for some older browsers. In good browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and Opera, this won't be a problem. These browsers have supported it for a long time. The problem might arise, for example, in Internet Explorer, but there are always issues there anyway. The application mainly runs on the client side, so it uses more client resources like memory and processor than server applications. You also need to keep in mind not to expose any sensitive data, passwords, etc. to the user, because the application code is downloaded to the client. However, I will show you how to design the application in such a way that this won't be an issue. We will use web APIs as is done in SPA applications, so there is nothing to worry about here. Let's move on to the advantages of Blazor WebAssembly. The application runs in the browser, so it will run smoothly and very quickly after the first launch. Therefore, there are no delays here, and everything is very user-friendly. Using such an application is pure pleasure. Since the application runs on the client side, our server load is reduced. The application can also work offline, so if you want to create progressive web apps, PWA, you can also create them in Blazor WebAssembly. As for my experience, I have developed applications in both Blazor Server and Blazor WebAssembly. It is known that each type of application is more or less suitable for different applications and needs to be tailored to the client's requirements. However, if I had to choose between these two models, I would recommend Blazor WebAssembly because, despite the slower initial load, the application runs very smoothly afterward, which is very important for users. On the other hand, Blazor Server, in my opinion, lags a bit here, but as I mentioned, I will show you how to deal with these issues and create applications that will satisfy every client.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed this film, be sure to join my community, where you'll also have access to exclusive additional materials and, most importantly, fantastic special bonuses. The registration link is located in the description box below the video. See you in the next episode.